Need to do before we get started at the transfer station is you're going to need some images printed off the computer. Okay, pick a theme and keep your pictures relatively similar in theme. Okay, black and white is fine, color is also fine. You just need to make sure that they're printed off the art printer because that is a laser printer. A copy machine would also work. If this is a process you like and you want to do it at home, most home computers use inkjet ink, and that will not work for this process. So go ahead now and find 3 images, print them out relatively small. We don't want big gigantic images. Okay? Once you have them printed, go ahead and grab the paper that's sitting at your table. It's a piece of Bristol board. Okay? You can tell it's a little bit heavier. Okay? And then you're also going to grab the gel medium and a paintbrush. What you're going to do is you're going to pick one of those 3 images. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to coat my image with some of the gel medium. Okay.
Notice I'm working on a piece of cardboard, so if you need that piece of cardboard that you have on your shelf, that would be a good idea so you don't get this all over the table. Alright, once that's
Nice and coated, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put it somewhere on that page. I'm going to put it right up here towards the top corner. And I'm going to take the spoon that's at my table and I'm going to use the bottom of the spoon and I'm just going to kind of press.
This is just to really make sure it's on there. The gel medium is really sticking nicely to the paper.
Okay. Once you've done that, you're just going to let that sit there for a while you do the other activities at the station. Okay. All right, the next thing we're going to do is a packing tape transfer. Okay. Again, get one of the images that you printed. You're going to need a roll of packing tape, okay, and probably a pair of scissors as well. Okay. You're going to take the packing tape and cut off a piece that will fit nicely over your image. And I'm going to need 2 pieces, which means I'm going to have to overlap my tape, which is fine. Okay, when you go ahead and lay that tape down, push so you're getting rid of any air pockets that might be in there. I'm going to need to cover with another piece of tape. And I want to overlap my seams, okay? So don't butt it right up against, overlap it a little bit. Again, pressing down, and then you can get that spoon again, really rubbing to make sure that we pushed any air out of it that might have got trapped. Go ahead and peel that up. You'll notice that there's a tray on your table. Go ahead and fill that up with water. Okay. Once you've filled that up with water, you can go ahead and you can take your transfer that is on the that is on the packing tape and just take it, place it upside down, and just dunk it into the water. Okay, and we're going to set that aside for a few minutes while we do the next activity. So the paper that I put my first photo transfer on is here, and I'm going to use this paper again. I'm going to use the last image that I printed, and now I'm going to do something called an acetone transfer. Okay, so you're going to find at your table there is a bottle of acetone. This is very similar to nail polish remover, except this is much more concentrated. So you're not going to want to get this like into a cut or anything. It's going to burn a lot. But you're going to pour it into a little small container, and you're going to need a paintbrush as well. So you're going to take your image, and we'll lay this one right here. And I'm going to get some masking tape. Okay, the reason for the masking tape is you don't want your transfer to move when you're rubbing it. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and just tape the edges down.
And then I'm going to take the acetone and I'm going to paint it over top of the back side of my image, and you're going to see the image kind of starting to reappear. You don't need like a whole gallon of acetone on here. Just a nice light coat is good. If you get too much acetone, you're gonna see some bleeding within your ink. Okay, my image is visible. Oops. And then I'm gonna take that spoon again, and it's called burnishing. I'm gonna burnish my image. I'm pressing down considerably, making circular motions. This just helps transfer the ink onto my paper. It's almost like a temporary tattoo, okay, where you kind of want to check and see if you've transferred it. And if you haven't, you want to go back and rub some more. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to take the tape off. Okay, and I've transferred using acetone. It's not perfect, but that's kind of the point. You want to have some areas of imperfection. All right, I'm back to my packing tape transfer. It's been soaking in my water bath for a few minutes now. It's ready to do the next step. Okay, so the paper should easily just rub off. Okay, make sure your hands stay kind of wet and into the water. And you're basically just rubbing that layer of paper off, and the ink transfers onto the tape. So you're kind of creating like a big sticker. Okay, any residue that's left over, you want to get off. Just kind of rubbing it together. Okay, and you can see how now I have a transparent type of sticker, and I'd want to go ahead and kind of cut all around my edges. Okay, and I'll show you once we're done how we're going to use this with the other transfers. All right, coming back to our photo transfer that we put on earlier. We now have to take some water and start lightly rubbing the back of the paper off of the photo transfer. All right, I think I got most of the paper off of my photo transfer, and you can see I rubbed some of the toner and the ink off of the page, and you know, that's just kind of part of the process. You're not going to get things to be perfect, but those imperfections can make things just a lot more interesting. Okay, so you have a photo transfer, we have our acetone transfer, and then we have our packing tape transfer. Okay, and next I'm going to show you just some things that you can do to kind of layer and create an interesting artwork from these types of transfers. So you can layer over your transfers using acrylic paint, even watercolor, or gel medium. And then I'm going to lay my packing tape transfer on top after the paint has dried using some gel medium or matte medium would also work just fine, just to get it on there and to get it sealed. Okay, I'm going to cut out some of my paper that I created, and I'm going to lay that on in like a collage type of style. Okay, so that painted paper you made, you can also color over your transfers using Sharpie or color pencil. Okay, just to add some details. You can color right over those transfers. Okay, and now I'm going to layer. Okay, collage is all about layering. I'm going to layer those painted papers that I created right over top of my photo transfers, and I'm going to seal them on using the gel medium. Now, using the pulp paper I created, I'm going to layer over again. Okay, and again, I'm going to use the gel or matte medium to seal all of my pieces on, and it acts as a glue. And you can see here, I'm continuing to layer until I've decided to go over again with some more acrylic paint. I'm going to layer back over top of my collage. Okay, again, don't be afraid to layer multiple types of mediums on top of each other. It's going to create a lot more dimension to your work. Again, I'm going to go to the bottom, I'm going to add some hills. I'm going to paint over my packing tape transfer with a little bit of white paint. Until I have something that is more of a landscape. I can kind of see a foreground, a midground, and a background. And again, don't be afraid to layer. And when I am finished, here is what my finished product looks like using all of those different transfers and all the materials from the stations.